The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hey, welcome everybody to Ring and All Other Sports. I'm with my co-host Derek Dukes. My name is Leo Connors. Before we get into the wrestling talk, I'd like to talk a little bit about the New England Patriots. Big game against the Giants this past weekend.
Growing back.
Finally, they're starting to grow back.
Growing back.
You know, the Giants gave us quite a scare. That last drive.
Oh, my God.
Was unbelievable. Brady was on the money when it got to be fourth down, and then we hit Amendola. For that 12 yards. It was 4th and 10. But we got just in time, just enough yardage for Steve Gostkowski to kick that 54-yard field goal.
Vinatieri who?
Exactly.
Oh, right, okay.
Exactly. I think we forgot all about Adam Vinatieri a long time ago.
Yeah, but last weekend we definitely made sure.
Well, that was the very first big kick of Gostkowski's career.
Definitely.
You know, with the game on the line. Brady, again, he didn't have his greatest game of the season, but he still did all right. That pass that was intercepted at the goal line was tough.
Well, they played a tough team.
Yeah, it was behind LaFell, right into the guy's arms. But, you can't be perfect all the time.
No.
You just can't be. And he's pretty damn near perfect.
Mm-hmm.
In 2 weeks, we got Denver.
Yes.
Peyton Manning had a really rough Sunday. 4 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
He was 5 for 20.
Mm-hmm.
And they took him out of the game. And
that bench was nice and warm, though.
Nice and warm.
Yeah.
And greatest quarterback of all time? I don't think so. I don't think so.
No.
I never did think so,
no.
To be honest with you. Is he good? Absolutely.
Definitely.
He's great.
Yep.
He is great. But he's no Tom Brady.
But he's not the best. He's not the best.
He's not Tom Brady.
No.
He's not Joe Montana.
Nope.
Even though Marino didn't win titles, I still think Marino's better.
Marino was a great quarterback.
Absolutely. And now it's only down to 2 undefeated teams. Last time we were on the air, we talked about it. There was 4 undefeated teams.
I know.
And now we're down to 2.
Now we're down to 2.
Carolina and the Patriots. And it's too bad they're not playing each other this year in the regular season. I have a feeling we're going to meet them, though, down the line.
Oh, no matter what.
I have a feeling that might be the team that we meet.
Definitely.
Super Bowl 50, right?
Yes.
Wow. Milestone. It's pretty funny, all the things that have been going on in the league, though, with the benching of Peyton Manning, the Bills-Jets game the other night.
I know.
The Bills beat the Jets. Rex Ryan. He's crying now because his brother got fired out of New Orleans. And can you blame him? A couple weeks ago, they gave up 52 points to the Giants. This Sunday, they gave up in the 40s again.
Correct.
I don't know what's going on with that defense, but it's a good thing they have a pretty decent offense.
Thank God.
Drew Brees is a great quarterback, too. Again, no Tom Brady.
But he's a good quarterback.
Hey, all you Brady haters. That's all I got to say about that. A little laughing at you.
Definitely.
I seen on Facebook, it was so funny, this kid that's a Giants fan posts on Facebook, the Patriots are cheaters, blah, blah, blah. Look at the clock. They did this, they did that. And I was like, listen, they're in your stadium.
Right.
So how can it be the Patriots' fault with the clock? These people just want to cry and cry and
Anything
cry.
to bash the Patriots.
Yeah, and it's a shame because it does take away a little bit of how great of a season they're having. How great of a coach by calling Bella cheat, they call him.
Yeah.
You know something? Everybody does little certain things in that sport. You know what I mean? And people are they're sore losers because the Patriots are so good.
Right.
But I can't wait till we play Denver in 2 weeks. That's going to be awesome.
It's going to be a great game.
I think this was Denver will be tough.
Yep.
But I always did think that the Giants would be a tougher game. A lot of it, I really do believe a lot of it's mental, too. You know what I mean? It really is. They got inside their heads a little bit, and not really in a really bad way because we're able to pull out the win, but just those 2 losses in the Super Bowl, we lost. We probably outplayed them both times.
Right.
But ended up losing the game. And I'm not a sore loser. hats off to the Giants for winning both those games.
Right.
There's not, I mean, my buddy Sean Wiggins down in Jersey calls me the fairest fan he ever saw. Sometimes he shakes his head
Right.
and doesn't understand how I can be so fair. It's just how I am, you know. Like when Jeter retired. Did we touch on this last?
Correct.
Right. And I was, like clapping for him at home.
Right.
Why? Because he played the game right. He's not A-Rod, and granted, I'm not a fan of him, but the kid played the game right.
Right.
He played the game right. The only thing in my eyes I should say that I hear people say that he's a womanizer. He's engaged now.
Right.
But is that really a bad thing when you're a single guy? No, you know what I mean?
No, of course.
You can date whoever you want.
Look at the caliber of women he gets.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all the money he has.
Yeah.
It's not too hard for him to get a girl.
Right.
But congratulations to him on his upcoming marriage and in his engagement. But enough about him.
Please.
Let's get into some wrestling talk.
Oh boy, we got a lot of wrestling talk to do.
A couple weeks ago, Seth Rollins.
Terrible.
Were they in Germany?
Terrible. No, they were overseas in England.
In England.
Yeah.
And he went for the power bomb off.
Well, pretty much he was doing a sunset flip off the top rope.
Okay.
And which he's done, and he'll tell you he's done 1,000 of them.
Right.
And I had Kane up, and Kane was out, so he went to do the sunset flip, and he just landed on the side of his foot, which flipped his leg.
Right.
Finished the match, of course, but
Right. He's a tough guy.
it's pretty bad when you blow out your MCL, ACL. I mean, he blew out, everything was gone, destroyed.
Wow. And it's a shame because Seth is a great talent. The chicken heel, we'll say.
right.
You know what I mean? We'll keep it PG here.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's an unbelievable worker. He's a great hand. He's definitely a very good talent.
Right.
But on my side of it, how I see is that he's terrible on the mic.
Yeah.
And terrible on the mic. There's no.
Do you think so? Yeah.
I really do. I don't think he has any. I think his mic skills are crazy, and
Okay.
he sounds
I
like
thought
a
he was
real.
half decent at least.
Sounds
but-
like a whiner.
yeah.
You know.
Well, I think that might be part of his gimmick, though. Maybe. You know
Right,
what I mean?
but he doesn't use his gimmick to the full extent. He really sounds like a real whiner when he's on the mic.
Right.
He needs to sound a little stronger.
Right. Okay.
And
I
he
get what you're
doesn't
saying.
use it correctly.
Right.
But when you see him work, and the kid's he's unbelievable. He really is a great worker.
What a talent. He really is. I mean, I think we might have touched on this a couple weeks ago, too. They broke the Shield up way too early.
Yeah,
They
definitely did.
but because they actually thought Roman was ready to be a star, too.
And they were all wrong.
And they were completely
They were all wrong.
They were completely, because they had thought it was going to be Reigns, Ambrose, Rollins. And it was the opposite.
Nope, totally opposite.
Ambrose was still in the middle, but it's just the first and last were switched.
Right.
So now we have a tournament for the WWE World Title, and with Seth out for 6 to 8 months. So, the first round was November 9th on Monday Night Raw, and one of the first matches was Roman Reigns against The Big Show.
Right.
No big surprise there, as we all knew that Roman's going to be pushed to the moon for this.
Right, but
tournament.
the reason why the reason why they're putting him over is because Show is injured also.
Oh, I did not know that.
He's working
I'm glad
injured.
you follow it up a little more than me. I've been really busy at home with the
Right.
home life with Nicole. And
Well, I still have a lot of good friends who work for WWE backstage,
go, there you
and I
go.
still
So
get a
you
lot of intel. But
Right.
Show's working hurt.
Oh, okay.
So that's why if you notice, he's not really going in there and doing his thing and so on and so
Right,
forth. Excuse the terminology, he is laying down. He's losing. He is laying down.
Right.
But he's putting people over clean because he's injured.
Okay.
Because after, hey, can you go out and do this? And of course, that's what they're going to do.
Right.
Think about the talent that is gone right now, that is either injured and or not with the company, shall we say, like John
Right.
Cena taking time off, and you got all these guys who are injured.
Randy Orton.
How do you listen? Shoot. How do you take your trash out and blow a shoulder?
I don't know. He's always had shoulder problems, isn't it? He's always had that shoulder problem.
But-
They used to call him fragile.
Right, but that's not a work. That's a shoot. He literally was
Right,
taking his trash
right.
out and blew a shoulder
Yep.
out. So there goes that, and you
Yep.
got all the. Bringing back Del Rio was a great idea,
Right.
which I'm very glad they did, because they needed the talent. But right now,
Yeah.
now's the time to go down to NXT
Right.
and just go around the locker room and go you, and just start bringing people up.
We talked about that off here. I was really surprised that they didn't bring up like Samoa Joe and Finn Balor for this tournament.
Oh,
I
even
mean,
bring back Rhino.
They're using The Miz. They're using Titus O'Neil. And nothing against either one of them
Right.
guys. Actually, I should say that The Miz a few years ago was really impressing me. And he's totally, like, you watch his matches now,
Right.
and it's I'm sorry, Bez, but it's horrible. It's horrible. It really is. But I would have liked to have seen them bring up some guys. You know, I mean, they just brought up Tyler Breeze. But let's get back to the tournament here.
Yes.
Kevin Owens beat Titus O'Neil.
Yes.
Whatever you want to say about the match, I am a fan of Titus O'Neil. I really am. I know I just said that he shouldn't have been in the tournament, but that's because he's part of a tag team, and I just think that they need to make more stars. And if Titus has been around for a while,
yes.
and they're not pushing him.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Nope. So why use them in that role? When you do have guys and you need to make more stars, and there's no doubt in my mind that Samoa Joe is a star.
Correct.
And will get over on Raw when they put him in the ring. Yep. Finn Balor, his entrance alone is going to make people curious about him.
Crazy.
You know?
Yep.
And I'm just saying at least those two guys to be brought up.
Yep.
We were talking again off air about the tag team division. Jason Jordan and Chad Gable.
Guys are crazy.
Those guys are very impressive.
And who knew to put those two together and what charisma and ring talent they had together.
Right, right.
That was great.
Yeah, and you remember like how it went. Gable kept asking him and asking him, be my partner, and he kept turning him down and turning him down. And after that first match together, Jordan knew, wow, this kid was on to something.
Correct.
You know? Big Cass going down in NXT didn't help, you know, the tag team division. But maybe we'll get to that in a little bit. I want to stay on the topic of Raw. Dolph Ziggler beat The Miz.
Well, that's a given.
It was given, yeah. Pretty much almost all these were given. You know, if you're looking on paper, you pretty much could tell. If you've been a fan of the WWE for a while like we have, you know what I mean? You pretty much can tell who's going to win and, you know, and who's not.
Oh, God, yeah.
Cesaro beat Sheamus, who was accompanied down the ring by King Barrett.
Yep.
It's a good match. Good match. I love watching Cesaro work.
The thing about Cesaro is he's a real wrestler. He's a real professional wrestler.
Right.
He is born into it and trained, and he's he's strong as anyone I've ever seen work.
So when you said he's born into it, is he a second generation?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all. But he was born into it because of where he was from, and that's all they had.
Oh, I got you.
And that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to be a professional wrestler his whole life.
Right. He's a hell of a talent.
Yes.
I really like. A lot of times I will fast forward things, but that's a guy I don't fast forward over.
Right.
Ever. Him, Owens, Dolph. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I do fast forward over Reigns sometimes. And I was one of the guys that wanted him to be there, when they were trying to push him as the #1 star out of the Shield. I was one of the guys that was hoping that he would make it.
Right.
Because I love the look, the size. You know what I mean? And he can work.
Yep.
But they just rushed him. I think he really would have been better off staying in the Shield. I think they would have been better off keeping them together for a lot longer because he just wasn't ready to go on his own.
No.
You know, he really wasn't. But now in the next match, the tournament match, they had Dean Ambrose going over on Tyler Breeze, who's now accompanied by his girlfriend, Summer.
Right, Summer Rae.
Man, she goes through guys like, I change underwear.
Well, the problem with her is that they don't have a spot for her.
Right.
So they just keep adding her to things. You know, the whole sideshow with the way she was, you know, putting on this and dressing like Lana and so on and so forth.
Right.
And then, you know, when they didn't kayfabe that Lana and Rusev really got engaged, what do you do there?
Right.
You don't put it's called kayfabe for a reason.
Exactly.
You got to keep some things in the wrestling. You got to keep it there. You got to keep the storyline going. Nothing like going on Instagram or whatever the hell it was and say, "Oh, we're engaged," and take a picture of you two at a Lakers game or wherever they were.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic.
Right.
You need to kayfabe, and these newer guys don't understand that.
Right.
They don't. So now where does she go? Because now they're together again. Never mind that she was injured.
Right.
You know, so she broke her foot or whatever it was, her wrist.
Yeah.
And now they had to put her with someone else. Great. I'm glad they brought up Tyler Breeze.
Pretty Prince.
Kid is a great worker.
Pretty Prince.
And he was in NXT for a long time.
Different names.
Yeah.
Mike Dalton. Wasn't he Mike Dalton for a
Right.
while?
A long time. He was in NXT for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, he was.
Before they brought him up.
Yeah.
Is he a talent? Of course he is.
Yeah.
Was he always a talent? Yes, of course.
Right.
It just takes that one thing to do to
Right.
have Paul, Triple H, bring you up.
Yep.
It took him a long time, but he's up there on the main stage now.
Right.
Yeah, he may lay down a few times here and there, but that's fine because he's going to find his niche and he's going to find his, opponents and
Right.
He's going to have his rivalries, and it'll be great, and it'll work out good for him.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I enjoy watching him. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I think he's a really good talent. Non-tournament match, they had the New Day beat the Uzos and Neville.
Right.
No reason to even get into that.
No.
No offense, guys.
No.
And then at the end of the show, Bray eulogizes Taker and Kane.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to see where that goes. A lot of people are disappointed in this angle so far. I want to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I think they could have went different ways and done different things, but who am I?
Right.
I'm just a public access TV host. So then we move over to SmackDown.
Right.
Which was on Thursday.
Yep.
The 12th, November 12th. The remaining first round matches were Adrian Neville. Well, Neville. He beat King Barrett.
Yep.
Who didn't have Sheamus with him.
Nope.
Which surprised me because in the opposite,
Right.
Barrett was with Sheamus.
Yep.
One of the bigger upsets, Kalisto beat Ryback. Not that he shouldn't be able to, because I'll tell you, we talked off the air. I am really impressed with this kid.
Great worker.
I really am.
Great worker.
The former Samurai Del Sol.
Yep.
Who he was phenomenal talent, little guy.
Yep.
But man, can he work. And then Alberto Del Rio beat Stardust.
Yeah.
ADR is back. A lot of people, again, aren't too happy with some of the things that they're seeing from him. Personally, I love Alberto Del Rio. Or as Jizea used to say, my grandson, Alberto Del Rio. I said, what?
Right.
Alberto Del Rio.
Right.
I said, buddy, breathe. It's three different, it's three words.
Right.
But
another great worker. Another great worker. I'm sorry he had his his little tiff, let's call it, with with Triple H and everything backstage about the racists and all that stuff.
It was the writer, right? Wasn't
Correct.
It right?
Yeah.
But he wasn't even a writer for the show, wasn't he? For that?
No.
For the network or
Correct.
something, right? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And it was all you're racist and this and that, and it wasn't. And I'm glad that he came to his senses as an adult, shall we say, as an adult, and now he's back working for the only real big wrestling company left out there.
Right. Now, the non-tournament matches, Braun Strowman of the Wyatt family beat Fandango. Didn't take him very long. I'm a fan of Fandango.
Well, Johnny's a hometown boy.
And he's great talent.
Yeah, definitely.
Handcuffed with the gimmick of Fandango, because, he's pretty much can only go one place.
Yeah, but how do you put a dancing gimmick on a guy who can't dance?
Yeah. Well,
Johnny's from here. Right. He doesn't know how to dance.
But that's part of the gimmick, though.
Right.
That you think you're the greatest dancer in the world when you're really not.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then the Uzos, they beat Rowan and Harper by DQ.
Yep.
Again, I'm glad that Jimmy's back.
Yes.
It's Jimmy that got.
Correct.
Was it Jimmy that got
Yep.
out, or Jay?
It was Jimmy.
Okay. It's good to see them back. Rowan and Harper's a tag team that I've always enjoyed. Always enjoyed. Big guys.
Yep.
Obviously, Harper's the workhorse of that team. But so then we're going to move back on to Raw from 2 nights ago on the 16th. And we had some second round matches. Kevin Owens beat Neville.
I love Kevin Owens.
Me too.
I'm sorry.
And I'm a fan of Neville's too.
I'm sorry. Shoot again. A fat guy. A fat guy that goes out and can wrestle.
Yeah. Really wrestle too.
And I mean, he's a real worker from Canada.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you right now, between him and Neville was an NXT match.
Right.
Because those guys have faced each other a million times down in NXT.
Yeah.
And if the dungeon was still around, Kevin would have graduated from the dungeon.
Right.
Definitely.
Right.
But I'm sorry, a big fat guy that can out wrestle people.
Reminds you back to the 70s.
God bless him. God bless him. You better believe it.
Because back then you could be all different sizes. You didn't all have to have 6-packs and things like that. Going all the way back to some of my favorites back then. Gorilla Monsoon, Bulldog Brower, guys that had barrel-chested, big belly. And then the next match was Dean Ambrose beats Dolph Ziggler.
Right.
Not a big surprise.
No, but I really thought that was going to go the other way. But now that I really did, because I thought they're going to give Ziggler a little bit more of a push.
Yeah.
But I mean, where they put him in that tournament and then putting Ambrose over him clean.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting.
Well, it's interesting because why would you? 2 babies are in that ring going at it.
Right. And Dolph's a great talent too. Great talent. It's so funny. Back to the Spirit Squad though.
Mikey.
I didn't think that he was going to be the one.
Right.
No, he was Nikki.
Was it Nikki?
Mikey, because Mikey Mondo.
Oh, it was Nikki. Okay, thank you. It was
That's
Nikki.
all right. But Everybody thought it was going to be Kenny was going to be the breakout star. And it ended up being Dolph. Not that Kenny ain't a heck of a talent, because I'll tell you what, Ken Doan, wow. I don't care what anybody says.
Great worker.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
I got to actually meet him at that Wrestle Marathon.
Yep.
And I don't know if you had seen a post that Spencer had put out there. He called me a legend, and I'm like, I'm far from a legend, dude. You know what I mean? I'm just a guy that likes wrestling.
Right.
But I know Ken Doan saw the post, because when Rich said something about coming to see me over at the concession stand, Ken turns around and goes, "The Leo Connors?" And I'm like, you saw the post. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "But you shot him down." Because I did. I said, "I am no legend. I'm just a wrestling fan that can cook real good."
Right.
Now, next match, Roman Reigns beats Cesaro. Best match on the card.
Wow, unbelievable.
Best match in a while.
Unbelievable. Two guys who just tooth and nail work great together.
Yeah, and Reigns goes over.
Yep.
I really want to see them start to push Cesaro more, because he's such a talent.
Yeah, but every time he seems to get to that nonchalant, they knock him down again.
And I don't understand
Every
it.
time.
I don't understand it.
Every time.
I don't understand it. Alberto Del Rio beats Kalisto in the final
Yeah, that was a little
second round match.
That was a little thank God for camera work, shall we say?
Yeah, because I had asked you. I didn't get a chance to see that yet.
There was a little bit of camera
And you
work
said
on that one.
He ripped his mask off.
Unfortunately, going for a move, Kalisto's mask came off. And thank you, Alberto, for helping him put it back on as they're trying not to lose the script. And you could see that it was going a little long, and you're wondering why, because the cameraman, thank God for cameraman again, at an angle, and there's Alberto helping him put his mask back on to finish the match.
Nice.
It was really good how they covered it up.
Right.
And then, of course, it came to the match, boom, 1, 2, 3, and they put out Del Rio over.
Right. And non-tournament matches, Tyler Breeze, being accompanied with Summer, beat R-Truth.
That's a given.
Given, yeah. Especially, new guy that bring him up. They're going to push him. The New Day beats the Usos and Ryback in a 6-man by DQ.
Yep.
The Dudley Boys beat the Ascension. Big surprise. I think maybe me and Derek could beat the Ascension. Nah, I'm just kidding. Maybe Derek and another partner, but certainly not me. And then the Divas contract signing. I want to touch on this before we finish it up with the Ronda Rousey talk.
Okay.
So we need to get this thing done in a couple minutes here.
Definitely.
I didn't see it. I heard they were talking about Reed Flair, who was Ric Flair's son, Charlotte's brother, who passed away from a heroin overdose.
Correct.
There's ways to do these type of things, and that's, to me, it's not the way to do it. But obviously, the Flairs gave their blessing, or it wouldn't have been done.
Right, but you know what? Disrespectful. The person writing that, and I don't know why Paul, Triple H, let something like that go.
Yep.
That's just disrespectful. How Charlotte stood for it anyway.
Right.
I mean, I understand, yes, it's for the love of the business and so on and so forth. Great.
Right.
But even after the segment, Paige was out back furious.
Wow.
But
I did not know that.
Because think about it. Where do you go if you decide to stand up for yourself with WWE? You do not work for WWE anymore.
Yeah.
And Paige and Charlotte are doing their thing right now. That's correct.
Right.
Whatever Paul says goes. Yeah, the old man is still there.
Yeah.
Of course he is, still calling some shots, but Triple H and Stephanie run the show.
Right.
And that's the way it is.
Right. A lot of people have been talking about Shane coming back. I hope he does.
Yeah, it won't ever happen.
We'll talk about that if he does come back. All right, let's move on to probably the most shocking thing that people have seen in a ring, a cage, or anything in a long time.
I mean, kind of like shocking like Mike Tyson. What happened with Mike Tyson?
Absolutely. A lot of people compared that to it. Holly Holm was a 12-1 underdog.
Yep.
And she whooped Ronda's butt.
Man.
People are saying things, all these armchair fighters,
Right.
Ronda this, Ronda that. She had the wrong game plan. Listen, her game plan, I know what it is now because it's all come out. Holly's a heck of a fighter, and she didn't want to give Holly any distance to get, you know what I mean? To set her up for punches and kicks. So Ronda was forcing the action.
Definitely was.
Going forward. Now, granted, I think if they fight again, there'll be a total different strategy. They'll be trying to take her down immediately because you can't stand there with a 3-time at different weight class world boxing champion.
Yeah, because
Holly's
crazy.
And that kick.
Oh my God!
Some kid posted on Facebook. Well, she wasn't ready for the kick. You're in a fight.
Doesn't matter if you're ready for anything.
Exactly. I told the kid. I said, I said a few things that I can't repeat here.
Right.
Well, the kid was not very bright.
Unfortunately, unlike professional wrestling, there's no one writing a script on that one.
Exactly.
There's no one writing a script out back saying, okay, she's going to kick you. You need to be ready for it.
Right.
No. She wasn't ready for it because she had no idea what was coming.
Right. Exactly.
Ronda was, I don't know, she just played differently. She was not off game. I mean, excuse me, she was way off game that night.
Yeah.
And it just didn't seem like her. She didn't seem into it.
Right. She caught Holly with a few good punches herself in the first round. But Holly's tough, and
Yeah.
Ronda's tough.
Yep.
Not everyone can go undefeated.
No.
You know, look at all these guys. The only guys that I know that went undefeated as champions was Rocky Marciano
Yep.
and Floyd Mayweather.
Correct.
And I'm sorry, but Floyd ran. Is he a great boxer? You say what you want about him. I'm not a fan of Floyd because of the boring fights that he had.
Right.
And some of the guys later in his career that he wouldn't fight. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yep.
What are you going to do? You know what I mean? That's just how it is.
I mean,
you know, not everybody's going to be Mickey Ward fighting anybody
Yep.
at any time.
At any time.
You know?
You know, Anderson Silva came out. Anderson Silva, who was undefeated for years.
Yes.
Anderson Silva came out and said, you lost.
Yep.
Ronda, you lost.
Right.
We lose. That's what happens.
That's right.
No one's the best forever.
I like seeing that too. I like
that's
seeing
great.
a lot of support from a lot of fighters.
You better believe it, because no one is the best forever. Someone will eventually lose. Yeah, you got your there's just a few, but Anderson Silva, the guy who was champion for, my God, what, 6 years?
Right,
Something
right.
crazy like that.
Right.
No one could beat him. No one could do anything to him. And finally, he did lose, of course, but
Right.
it does happen.
Chris Weidman ended up beating him, but it sure looked like the first fight against Chael Sonnen was
Oh,
going to.
my God.
And I loved it because everybody wanted Sonnen to win, and I kept telling everybody, it ain't over. It
Right.
ain't over.
Right.
And sure enough, he got caught, and he lost. Chael lost.
Yes.
You know, he made him tap.
And it was just, wow, what a great match.
Yeah. Now, some of the people that were giving Ronda some crap was Lady Gaga, who's never stepped into a ring in her life. I listened to the Joe Rogan Experience at
Right.
work on my podcast while
Right.
I'm at work third shift, and they did a lot of talking about people that were saying stuff. And I mean, Lady Gaga's never fought a day in her life, so she's not even worth any more of time for us, to discuss
Yep.
her. But Misha Tate should have known better.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
Misha, you run your mouth, and I love you, Misha. You're beautiful. But you run your mouth. She's beat you twice. Twice. If you would have beat her maybe one time, maybe you got something to say.
Right.
But you lost twice.
Yep.
So who are you to say anything? Get in line. Keep working hard. Get in line. Maybe you'll be up for a title shot down the line, you know?
Yep.
Well, listen, we're almost out of time. I just want to let you know that next week we have a very special guest, a good friend of Derek and mine. The Boston bad boy, Jason Rumble, will be on the show. We're either going to do a full hour next week or we'll do 2 parts. You know, half hour, but you know.
Yep.
So, guys, thank you very much for watching. I need some more feedback for Derek and me. We're out. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.